How about team non-celebrity, the other team members? How do you think about bringing them in? Do you offer equity, stock option plans, those kinds of things? Not in a bigger company like Honest Has Become, but like when you're kind of getting started out. We've had reasonable success by sending what we call a firm offer. So we will go direct, because agents we find are very challenging, and we'll just send a contract that says, if you sign this, then we'll pay you this much, and kind of go from there. Once you have that initial contact, how do you decide equity splits and comp and stuff like that? Where do you start with that?
It's when it comes to...
Without revealing the equity position of your business
Yeah,
partner,
for sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
just generally, yeah.
How much she got? No. Like, go ahead. How much money does she make? Yeah.
So in terms of equity splits, it's really the Wild Wild West, right?
That's what I find. I don't know where to start, though.
Yeah, there's no standard. There's no one says, if you're a C-level actress or a C-level singer, you get this much. There's no formula.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's, again, it's all negotiation.
Where do you start? Or how just because I know everybody has this challenges.
Yeah.
So where do you start? Do you say 50-50 or do you say 6%? I mean, it's so, yeah, how do you do it?
It really is. It really is. And I think a lot of it depends on how big the influencer is, too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, is Gary Coleman still alive? I don't know why that name popped in
Gary
my head.
Coleman is not, but it's an amazing reference, so keep going.
Yeah, so if it was like Gary Coleman, okay, so I could...
He would get less
Gary.
because he's dead.
Yeah, but it's like you might give you're going to give Gary Coleman less than you would give, Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah.
It's just, there's a scale of...
Unless Brad Pitt was
influence.
willing to accept what we would give Gary
That's
Coleman.
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen deals get done for 0.5%. I've seen deals get done for 80%. Which is kind of crazy, but it's all across the board.
Okay.
Depending on how much involvement that celebrity is going to have, that's the most important. Like if you're ever going to work with a celebrity as a partner, like a lot of these celebrities have a lot of other responsibilities and things that they're working on. So you have to make sure that you're going to get the appropriate amount of time and effort from them.
Yeah, and I think the perspective that you had is a good one. They're a business partner. So I think you would almost have to approach it in the same manner that you would any other business partner you had that had a full-time job.
That's right.
So you're approaching it saying, this is going to be my whole thing. I'm all in. You're going to be part-time. Now,
right.
Don't get me wrong. You're a big deal. And that's great. But I'm all in on this. This is all I'm doing. You're going to be part-time on this. And then when your agent calls and you got a big movie and you got a flute and toboggan off to Hawaii to shoot for, a couple of months, you're not going to be here and I am. So I think maybe that's how you would have that conversation. At least that's probably what I would have, how I would do it. And I think also thinking through, because I don't know if it was discussed ahead of time when you're talking to, a Kim Kardashian, like, is it just we want to use your name, or are you going to be actively promoting it on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis? Or is it just, you got some association and it's kind of more just a brand deal? I'm guessing that factors into it as well, right?
Absolutely. So it's kind of tough because I've seen contracts done for celebrities that say, every month you have to tweet 5 times, you have to post 20 messages on Instagram or whatnot. That tends not to work. Truthfully, it's kind of like if you were forcing any partner, like this is what you have to do, right?
It's a partnership. A partnership is a relationship. It's not transactional.
Yeah, and if you can't see eye to eye with a potential partner, then you shouldn't be their potential partner. You shouldn't be partners, right? And so that's why I see it. It's you're either in it or you're not, right? Tell me how much you want to work on this, and let's go from there.
How about team non-celebrity, the other team members? How do you think about bringing them in? Do you offer equity, stock option plans, those kinds of things? Not in a bigger company like Honest Has Become, but like when you're kind of getting started out.
Yeah, I think that's one of the greatest tools any entrepreneur can have are stock options. So at all three companies, I think every employee has stock options.
Okay.
And of course, the earliest employees get bigger stock option grants. But you use them, as you start growing, the grants become smaller and smaller.
You have a VC fund or a startup, an incubator? What is BAM Ventures?
Yeah. So I've been angel investing for a long time. So for over 10 years, probably invested in about 70 companies in the Los Angeles area. And so just about 2 years ago, I finally put some structure to all my, crazy investing.
All your harebrained schemes.
Yeah.
You brought all your crazy ideas under one roof.
Exactly.
What could go wrong?
So we kind of formalized, I have a partner named Richard John, and we formed BAM Ventures. And basically we're investing out of that now. So we love backing entrepreneurs, especially, in Los Angeles, although we invest, in other cities as well.
What are you looking at today? I mean, so most VCs and angel investors, they have money, but they don't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
And so and I know and I say this, I have friends, like really good friends that are out there, and they ask me, like, what should I be investing in? I was like, dude, that's not good, man. This is like your job. You're doing it. You're a practitioner, right? You're not someone who made it, now you're done. Like you're working, you're living this stuff. I've had multiple, startups, yourself, many of them exiting. So I would assume that you would know more than at least a lot of the people that I know who are in the VC and angel space. I know some pretty smart big guys, but so what are you looking at? What has you excited? What are the things that, I know you invested in a company recently, but what more things that are you looking at other things? What should we be doing? I mean, if we were going to model ourselves, because a lot of the folks here, they're adding an e-com component to it, or they're launching, or they're thinking about pivoting, their business maybe just a little bit. What direction would you suggest we take if we wanted to appeal to someone like yourself?
It's interesting. It's like every time you think everything's been done, it hasn't, right? You wake up every day and you're like, gosh, there's no more opportunity, and then something pops up, right? So I'm a firm believer that things are always being innovated on, and new models will always be created. I'm really excited about augmented reality and virtual reality right now. I think it has, it's at the nascent stages right now, but I was meeting with a company that was building what I thought was the first truly virtual mall, and it was really exciting. I put on these Oculus glasses, and I was like going through their rough kind of schematics, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience, and basically depending on the shopper and what they knew about that shopper are the type of shops that they would show that shopper.
So you're sitting there in your like lazy boy chair, and you're like,
yeah,
honey, I'm going to Cabela's.
That's kind of cool, though. So
walking.
you're doing a data-driven mall. So the mall changes based on what you know about the past behavior of the people.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Right. I think that's exciting. I think there's a whole new world in terms of virtual shopping. I tend to be more of a consumer-facing guy, so those are the deals that I look for. But I also just love technology. I saw this drone company that was amazing. It was based out of Germany, and basically it was a drone the size of probably this whole stage. It was gigantic, but
wow.
It was a little capsule where it could actually transport a full adult about 50 feet today, right? Just programmatically, and at the pace that evolution is going, is within 10 years. I mean, that 50 feet becomes 5 miles, and then it's going to be pretty amazing just seeing drones take people places. I mean, people talk about self-driving cars and autopilot and this and that. I think the future is in drones.